Hello, and welcome to Apple Blossom and You. I'm your host, Sarah, known as Apple Blossom SF on Plurk and Ravelry.
And I'm your co-host, Matt, known as Navy 1990 on Plurk and Ravelry.
And our special guest today is Miss Scarlett. She is one of my 9 Shih Tzus. She is my princess. She is my favorite girl. She likes to be with me all the time, wherever I go. If I leave her on the couch and I get up, she'll whine and cry until I come back.
And that's because she won't jump off.
Yeah.
To follow Mom.
She's spoiled. As you can tell, she's looking at me because I'm talking.
There you go.
Do you want to show your pretty face? Huh? I do all the grooming for all my dogs myself. So she's ready for summer. I wanted to leave her in a full coat, but it gets so hot here, I had to give her a summer cut. So what I do is I just clip their bodies and leave their legs and their heads as long as I can. Well, let's jump right into Around the Apple Orchard.
It's been busy.
It has.
We had planned a barbecue and get together for the teens at our church. It was supposed to happen yesterday, 4th of July. And the 3rd of July, we had a hurricane. So that canceled those plans. Fortunately, no damage from the hurricane.
No further damage.
No further damage.
We also discovered that our roof is leaking.
Yeah, 3 days before the hurricane, we figure out we got a leak in our roof. Our daughter tells us, there's been a leak in my bedroom for who knows how long.
Yeah, so nice of her to let us know. And I don't often go in the bedrooms, in their rooms. It's kind of their area, so I leave it for them. I guess I need to start popping in there. But we did get an estimate on the roof to get it totally replaced. We'd like to do a metal roof. Unfortunately, it's going to be $9,600.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen anytime soon. So right now we're praying for more storms so that we can sustain enough damage to have homeowners insurance pay for the roof.
And as bad as that sounds, that's exactly what we want to happen.
We just don't have the ability to pay for a new roof right now. I think we're going to get up next week or the week after. A friend of ours is going to help us patch the roof. So we can at least do that and get that to the point where it will stop leaking.
Yeah.
We hope.
And then I can go in and redo the interior or the ceiling in the bedroom.
But yesterday was the 4th of July. We had a wonderful day anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't get together with the teens like we wanted to, but we got together with a friend of ours, and we went to the beach on base and to check out storm damage, which there really wasn't any. You couldn't even tell, other than the water being a little rough, you couldn't tell that there was a hurricane the day before.
The waves were really nice. They were 6 to 8 feet.
But they were pretty big for us.
Yeah, for here, we normally get, 3 to 4 feet, maybe.
So we took 2 of our puppies with us to the beach yesterday. We took Apple and Bailey. I had only intended to take one. I intended to take Bailey because he's never been. And I was trying to get him excited to go to the beach. And I was saying, you want to go to the beach? And Apple apparently remembers that word.
Yes, she does.
Because she started running around the house, bouncing off the furniture like crazy. And just dancing and jumping on me and was saying, you have to take me too. So we ended up taking Apple and Bailey. I have some pictures that I will share in the credits. Or in the introduction, you may have seen him in the introduction of Bailey in the water. He was very scared at first. He was like, I have no idea what this is. I am not moving. You can't get me near this thing. But once we got him in and we literally dumped him into the ocean.
Yeah, I picked him up and put him down in a foot of water.
Yeah, it wasn't deep water, but we dumped him in. And he stood there for a minute. It was just like, this is weird. And then he realized, hey, this is kind of nice. And he was fine ever after that. So it was pretty good. And, you know, Scarlett's getting heavy, so I am going to put her down. She is like 7 pounds, but when I'm holding her, she turns into dead weight.
Yeah, she
does not support herself at all, so she just kind of goes limp. And she gets a little heavy. So we're going to go ahead and put her down.
And then some more stuff. This coming Monday, our oldest daughter, is trying out for a musical piece at a local theater company. So it's a Disney-themed musical production. And so we've heard nothing but Disney music coming from her room for a week now.
Yeah, she's getting excited.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if she makes it. They only have 4 spots open for teenagers, so.
Yeah, I received an email this morning. There's 49 people trying out, and 25 are going to make it.
But that includes adults. And
Right,
like I said,
right.
only 4, maybe 5 of those positions
there's
are
5.
for kids. So it's going to be some fairly stiff competition. But it'll be good for her. It'll be a good experience.
Yeah,
She's
whether
looking
she gets
forward
in
to
or
that.
not, she'll at least have the experience. So.
Let's see, we also finally found some formal dresses for Maddie's Sweet 16 party. She is turning 16 in October. So we are having a formal event, or more formal event. We're dressing up. We're going to have a dinner in the evening. We're going to have it in the pavilion outside our church because it doesn't cost us anything, which is wonderful.
That helps.
And the church has decorations that we can use. So we're going to decorate it outside and have a nice dinner. We narrowed down the menu. For the most part, we know approximately what we're going to have.
Yeah.
We're going to be having an apple stuffed pork tenderloin. We're going to have roasted potatoes. And we are going to have a salad, a garden salad, and some type of vegetable. We don't know which vegetable. And then I will be making the cake and decorating that as well. We had an idea. We haven't narrowed down the cake yet. So I think over the next week or two, we're going to start looking at that so I can practice any techniques that I need to practice ahead of time so that we can pull off her cake for her birthday. So we went to the Goodwill. And we found a couple of nice dresses. Maddie found this really pretty black strapless dress. It was absolutely gorgeous, and she wanted it, and she tried it on, and of course it was too big. So I looked at the tag, and I realized it's a size 14. I currently wear a 16, and I know formals run a little bit small, so it's about 2 sizes smaller than I am right now. But I'm hoping that I will be able to wear it on the day of her party.
Oh, I have no doubt.
I'm going to try anyway. And if I can't manage it, it's okay because I spent less than $7 on each dress. But we found a dress for her. She does need to have it altered a little bit, but not much. It needs to be taken in just a smidge. So we'll have to get that done for her. And for less than $7, we got her a dress as well, which is always nice. So we enjoyed that. So we're getting ready with all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a nice, fun thing for her. It's her last birthday party because we figured when she turns 18, she's going to want to go and hang out with her friends and do things with her friends. So it's her last big birthday party.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a birthday year for us. We don't celebrate birthdays every year with parties. We celebrate every year. But we have milestone birthdays. They got them basically at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, and 16 are the years that we celebrate birthdays. And I'm going to turn 13 in April, and Maddie is turning 16 in October. But her party is not until the 8th of November, so it'll be a couple weeks after her birthday. And that's just to accommodate schedules of the people who are helping us cook that are volunteering their time. And so we're, happy to move the schedule around so that we can get everything done on a budget, which is good. So we're hoping to pull off the whole party for a couple $100, which is not a lot of money. Sweet 16s can be quite
And most of that's
extravagant.
going to be the food.
Yeah, but it'll be good.
But one of the people that's cooking, he was a chef. So the instant we mentioned pork tenderloin, he goes, well, it's fall. How about we do an apple stuffed pork tenderloin?
Yeah.
And Maddie was all excited about that. So,
Yeah, because she wanted fancy food. Oh, we're
Yeah.
going to have rolls as well. And
Yeah.
potentially chocolate mousse as a dessert. So we'll have two desserts.
right.
It'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to dressing up and having fun. And just celebrating Maddie and her life up until this point because she's nearly an adult.
Yeah. And we're going to do potentially 2 traditional Sweet 16 things, one of which she will go to the party in Madison will go to the party in flats, and at one point I will come out with a pillow carrying a pair of heels, and I take off her flats and put on heels, symbolizing from going from a girl to a woman.
And I get to present her with a tiara on a pillow, basically signifying that she's no longer a girl, she's a young woman. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, and her guest list is somewhere in a range of 45 people.
But that includes whole families.
Right.
That's not just a bunch of teenagers. We're including families. She's only inviting like 2 or 3 of her close friends. And then it's just other families that have meant a lot to us in the past 16 years of raising our daughter. Well, should we jump right into in the apple basket?
Well, wait, because you got something going tomorrow. You don't remember. You better remember.
I'm supposed to start a cake decorating class tomorrow. I haven't decided if I want to follow through with it, only because it's the first class that I've already taught myself. I'm well beyond this class. So I haven't made up my mind. My supplies aren't here that I ordered. So I don't know. I just haven't made up my mind if I actually want to go, because I've done it. But in order to take the classes at Michael's, you kind of have to start at the bottom. But at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards taking classes on Craftsy, because then I can do it at my own pace whenever I want.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I have to make up my mind today, but it'll be good.
Yeah, we'll
Either
see.
way.
We'll see.
I think the new Wilton books that I got this week will help. They explain things a little bit better than they did a few years ago when I bought the books.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I should be able to continue on teaching myself. It's just a matter of forcing myself to do it. Also, Tour de Fleece starts today, so I will be spinning later. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't done any spinning. All right, well, in the apple basket, I have one finished item.
I don't. I've got projects going.
Yeah,
She's the only one that
we
finishes things.
We haven't had a whole lot of knitting time because it's been a little bit more busy with running around and doing things. But I did manage to finish my hand-spun socks. Oh, as I forget, I have a weight loss update before I show these socks.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So, backtracking, we're not quite back into in the
We'll
apple
get out of
orchard.
the basket.
Yes, we're going to get out of the basket. I wanted to give you guys a weight loss update. I went to the doctor earlier this week just as a random, checkup, see how things are going and to get certain things adjusted that needed to be adjusted. And I was going through my patient record because my doctor's office puts everything online, a limited patient record online, so that you can see that. And when we do an appointment, the next day they send out an update, a link that you can go and you can look. So I looked and I looked through and I looked back to last year, right before I found out that I was diabetic and before I started my weight loss journey. And I realized that I weighed a lot more than I thought I did. I weighed 15 pounds more than I thought I did. So my weight loss to date is almost 65 pounds instead of 50 pounds. So I have come further than I thought, but I still have further to go because I started out much heavier. But all is well. I go, hopefully this week, I'm supposed to go and get some labs drawn so I can compare my labs from last year to this year. So it'll be interesting. All right, now officially moving into in the apple basket. I finished my hand-spun socks. I'm calling these orange sherbet socks because they kind of are like an orange raspberry sherbet. And I absolutely adore them. Of course, it's too warm to wear them here, but I knit socks all the time anyway.
Yeah,
This is my hand-spun.
In the 90s here.
It's a No Two Snowflakes. It was one of her fiber clubs that she did. and I loved it. It's a merino and silk blend, which is my favorite thing on the planet to spin. So I love how they turned out.
Very pretty.
But that's the only thing I finished.
I've finished nothing.
I know. You're
Nothing.
slow. All right. Now we're going to work on blooming apples. Do you want to start with your blooming apples?
Yeah, since they don't count as finished projects until they're
No,
finished
sorry.
and finished. And I had people jump on me and say they agree with you.
I'm sorry. It's not finished until the sweater's done.
Okay. Sleeve
just
is
the way
a
it
sleeve.
is.
Sleeve to me is a finished object.
It's a partial
No,
object,
no.
but it's not a finished
Okay.
object. Do you wear just one sleeve?
I can.
You would look pretty silly.
See?
And that one's not even finished, so it
Never,
doesn't
not even
count.
finished, so yeah, it wouldn't count as a finished object even if I could. This is the sleeve to my second sleeve, to my Ranger sweater.
You want to turn it around so
I
they can
will.
see your progress?
By Jared Flood. It's a Plymouth Encore
Yes.
in a burgundy, what is it, burgundy heather,
It's a heathered color.
heathered color. Little update. That's where I was last time
We actually got a lot done.
we podcasted. I put it there. So I've more than doubled the length. I'm getting ready to go to another ball. Really great knit. I'm almost done with all my increases on the sleeve. There's a ton, but I have a little app on my phone to help me keep track of how many I've done and where I'm at. So as soon as I get the sleeve done, it's onto the body. And that's when the fun starts. But really nice knit. Jared Flood did a great pattern. All his patterns are really good. But what else do I got? I am doing a Mrs. Bakery Bear.
Did you even knit on that?
I did.
Like 2 rounds?
No, I knit like 10 rows. On this. So, yeah, it's, you know.
I will be starting my Mrs. Bakery Bear this week. I have a pair of socks that I have to finish the second sock.
And
once
she'll
I
get
do
her
that,
bear done before I will. Because,
probably.
you know,
I might be done by the time we podcast again.
I have a head,
So.
the nose, the ears, one arm, and that's all I got done. I still need to finish an arm, finish the body, finish the legs, and she'll be done before me.
Yeah.
And then, because it's what I like to do, because I can mindless knit now, I'm doing a pair of just plain vanilla socks. Sarah taught me how to do toe up. So,
Looks like you're getting close to the heel.
I am. I don't know, this is probably maybe 4 inches. But it is unwind yarn. Sarah had gotten it in a club.
It's the ducky colorway.
The ducky colorway. And it's fun to knit on when I don't want to have to count increases and watch a pattern and all of that. So that's what I'm working on. It's 3 simple projects. You have.
I have a bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
I usually do. I did work a little bit on my cross stitch. I need to really work on it some more, but cross stitch takes me so much longer, and I really have to focus, so it didn't get too much done. But I did finish my February square. I got my little froggy is done, and I have started March. I hope to work on it this week, but we'll see.
What's March going to be? What is
March is going to be,
Oh, it's a
this is a
house.
little wolf.
it? Oh, it's a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Little Red Riding Hood?
No, 3 little pigs.
Oh.
And there'll be
I went
pigs
with the wrong wolf.
with floor bricks, and they'll be burrowing down the house.
I went
So,
with the wrong wolf.
yeah. Little Red Riding Hood might make an appearance. I don't know. It's a mystery. Each month is a mystery. So I enjoy that. And I did start another cross stitch, but the dogs ate it. So
Yeah.
it didn't go
She was
very
going to show
far.
it this morning, and
And
there
it's
was
the fabric-
teeth marks, and the fabric was all chewed up.
And the fabric wasn't, it was cheap fabric, so I want to get some better fabric, so it was easier just to throw it away. I was only about half done anyway.
Yeah.
I did also make a little bit of progress on my Seat William. I am almost done with the body, or the lower body, the quilted part. I have about another 1.5 inches, so it's getting there. Hopefully, I will get
I
some
think
more
that's
done.
really showing the texture.
It is showing the texture. I love this. It's very, very squishy. The texture just makes it squishy.
Good baby blanket.
Well, this is not a baby blanket, this is a sweater. But
We're
there is a
doing the
blanket.
sweater.
There is a blanket to match. I will not be doing the blanket to match this time. I may start one in different yarn after this. I don't have a whole lot of this. I am using Universal's Uptown
DK.
DK.
Hey, I remembered that.
Yeah. And a lavender color and cream. So it'll be really good. And this is going to be donated. But it's a long sleeve sweater, so it'll be a while before I need to actually have to finish it.
Yeah.
But I try to keep a baby project on the needles. Because if I don't, I get behind. And then babies are born faster than I can knit for them. So
Yeah. And then you crochet like crazy and
to make up.
Make
And I really
sweaters.
I like knitted baby sweaters. I like the look of knitted baby sweaters better. It's a personal preference. Crochet is wonderful. I love them as well. And they are fast.
I think knitting looks better than crochet anyway. Personally.
Well, it
Me
depends
personally,
on
it's a personal
what
preference.
you're doing. I love some crochet. I do have a half object.
That's not finished.
That's why it's not in the finished category, dear.
It's not finished.
I know.
You don't just wear one sock. Yes, I'm being a smart aleck because
Yes.
a sleeve
See
doesn't
what I'm
count.
married to?
A
We've been
sleeve
married-
doesn't count, so a sock doesn't count either.
Yes, and we're in blooming apples, which means it is with the
So I should have a half object because I got the sleeve done.
But that's not a finished project,
Okay.
and we're not in the finished project. See what I have to live with?
I'm trying to plead my case. Y'all know I'm going to try and plead this until that sweater is done.
We've been married 16 years now. We had our
Yes,
anniversary.
we just had our anniversary, not 26th of last month. It's 16 years.
Well, I finished a Mystic Spiral sock. This is by Sword of a Knitter. And I didn't write down his name. I know his first name is Josh. I can't remember his last
Josh
name.
Rakes.
Awesome, awesome pattern. I loved it. I'm not a mathematical thinker, but this pattern is just awesome. If you haven't knit it, you need to go out and do it because the way he puts it together is just wonderful.
I don't know if I can do it.
Yes, you could. It's short row. There's short rows in it, but it's great. And
Oh, then
there's
Dan
rows.
Jones can do it
Yeah.
because he's all about the short rows.
Yeah, but this is a wonderful pattern. And I'm using some Knit Picks. Felicity? I can't remember. I'm really bad lately. I have not been writing things down.
Yeah, we need to start making notes instead of
Winning.
flying by the seat of our pants.
But I have started toe number 2. I will hopefully progress past toe. Yeah, but I have finished a pair of socks since you started that, and I'm almost done with the second pair. And I'm working on a third pair. So I will probably
And she'll
have
get them all done before I get mine
3
done.
or 4 pairs of socks done before he even finishes his. And the next one is I have seen everybody doing their Sock of the Month clubs where they randomly pick, they take a bunch of socks,
Skeins of
yarn.
sock yarn.
Yes. My brain is not working
It's
this
still
morning.
early here?
I have not had my full pot of oolong tea yet today.
It's
so
still early here. I'm still drinking coffee. It's that early.
yeah, my tea is on the counter, which I need some caffeine, obviously. Well, anyway, this week I've been wanting to do it, and I just haven't gotten around to do it. It was just a matter of sitting down and picking yarn. So while I was brushing the dogs, I called Emma in, and I said, Emma, go into my project bag stash and grab 12 project bags. And I showed her where the skeins of sock yarn were, and I said, pick 12. And she said, okay. And then I said, and then randomly select a bag of yarn and set it on the table. The first bag she set was the pink version of this. And I'm like, okay, go pick a different one. I don't want to do the same sock at the same time. So she picked another one, and I have started my July socks. And this is the Debbie Maycomer Blossom Street Petals Sock Yarn. This has Angora in it. We'll see if I can get it to show a little bit of the halo.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Right on.
Yeah, so
Okay, sure.
I'm really excited. This yarn is really soft. It does stick to itself, which is why I chose not to do a pattern.
Oh.
But it is
Oh.
super, super soft.
Oh my goodness.
I love, 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 love Angora. I no longer have Angora bunnies. They all finally
Passed away.
But I still have a bunch of Angora in the closet, so I'm going to need to spin it. So I'm looking forward to doing
Those are really cool. I love those colors too.
And the colorway, I'm good at this one, is flowering cabbage. You can ask
Flowering cabbage?
Flowering cabbage. They're all named after plants and flowers because it's the Blossom Street collection, which
I didn't know
they
cabbage
have
flowered.
discontinued the Blossom Street. Some of the yarns are being renamed, but this has been in my stash for a couple of years. So
yeah, that one's been around for a while.
Yeah. Everything is stashed.
Benefit
lately.
of working at a yarn store.
Yeah.
She got
I was able to add stash quickly when I was working, but now I'm not working. Okay, and the other thing I'm working on, this is a long resurrected project that I found.
Came out of hibernation.
Yep. And I put it in hibernation because I was working on it on bamboo straight needles, and I hated knitting it.
I'm not a fan of straight.
And then I picked it up after it being in hibernation for many, many, many months, and I switched needles to my Chaigus. And I am much
Are those
happier.
the twists?
No,
those
these
are
aren't.
regulars.
These are the regulars.
Which
The red lace.
I knit on Chaigus now because she bought me some. The twists.
This pattern is Sequoia, and the pattern and the yarn was gifted to me by Strickland 66, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Michelle.
When I had it in hibernation, I had like maybe that much. So I've since more than doubled it. I love the pattern. It's fairly easy to follow. The one thing that I would prefer is if it had a chart. It's written out. And I almost sat down one day to chart it out and then went, I don't have the patience to chart this right now. So I haven't done it. So my goal is to slowly get this done. The yarn is Copper Corgi, I believe. And it's a local to Georgia yarn. So I'm calling this my Georgia Peach Scarf because it will be a lovely scarf. And it's so much fun. It's really, really, really fun to knit. I cannot wait until it's done. It'll be a scarf, but it'll be wide enough once I block it that I can wear it as like a little stole. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's the last thing I'm working on. I want to, before we stopped podcasting, I was gifted many patterns, and I'm slowly working through them as I have stash yarn for them. Some of the patterns I don't have yarn for, so I'm working on ones that I do have yarn for. It's important to me to work on patterns that I've been gifted. I want to be a good steward of that, and I'm enjoying them. It just will take me a little while to get through them.
Yeah.
All right, and Matt has some apple candy.
I do. Haven't had any in a while. Let me think.
And apple candy is where we show you either
things we've gotten.
Well, this case it was a gift, but it was from me, so it doesn't really go into Apple of Our Eye. Apple of Our Eye is where we share if we get any gifts that you guys have given us. We want to say thank you and all that kind of stuff. But since it was me,
apple candy could be yarn.
Apple candy is yarn. It could be new patterns, whatever.
Right.
Whatever new stuff we've got.
Which I would have done if I'd have thought about it in our first new episode. What was that, 43? I would have mentioned the needles that she got me. Because she got tired of me using her needles.
Yeah, I could never have the needle I wanted because he was always using it.
So now I have a full set of Chagu twists, which I love. Absolutely love. And that's what I do all my stuff on. But for our anniversary, I received a pattern. I was at work, and she asked me, did you check your email? No, I don't check my email at work. No, I was at home.
You were?
I was in the bedroom. Kind of relaxing. It's cooler in our bedroom, so I sit in the bedroom and cool off. And she goes, check your email. So I checked it, and there was a pattern through Ravelry for our anniversary. She sent me, see if I can do this without too much glare, the Facets hat by Rosebeck. It's a really cool hat. I haven't done a hat in a while, and I need to do more. But
You have plenty of yarn for it.
I do. I have plenty of yarn for it. It has almost a cabled look to it.
They're called twisted stitches.
But they're twisted, yeah.
It's not a true cable, it's a twisted stitch
It's
pattern.
right twist, left twists, all those, which are really cool. And I haven't done a hat in a while, so we'll have to find some yarn out of my stash, which is nowhere near the size of hers.
It was holding my stash.
Yeah, most of my stash used to be her stash.
I just shared.
And she cleared out a bunch of stuff she didn't.
That I knew I wasn't going to knit with.
Right, she wasn't going to use, so she gave me first shot, and then the rest she gave to a friend of hers that also knits.
I was trying to get the stash down to more manageable amounts, and it is still not manageable. I will have plenty of yarn to knit with for a long, long, long time.
So that was my kink.
And just a general update on how close Scarlett is, if you want to look under the table. She is approximately 6 inches from my foot.
Oh, yeah, she's right next to Sarah's foot.
So she is curled out to sleep right near me. Like I said, wherever I go, she goes.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised she's not touching me at this point, because she usually has to be up on
she's
me.
Sound asleep on the floor.
Yes. I think we're going to go into a weekly podcast. We enjoy doing the weekly podcasts. It is a little bit easier for us to remember what we are doing.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks is a little long. We forget what we've done in 2 weeks. So we are going to go back to a weekly podcast. Occasionally we may miss a week, especially with the summertime weather may happen.
It might, but especially with having teenagers, there's always something going on. Mm-hmm. Things may happen where we don't get to record, or like today we had to record early because...
And we're rushing because we have a friend coming.
A friend of mine from when I was in the Navy, I've known him 20 years now.
He actually was there the night I met him.
Yeah, he introduced...
Well, sort of.
Me and Sarah
he gave
into
you
the group.
He gave you the kick you needed to go that night.
Right. The night we met, I wasn't going to go out.
I wasn't either. I was not interested in meeting anyone.
And my friend Rob, who's coming over today, he said, come on, let's go. We're going to go shoot some pool. We're going to just kind of hang out. And, there's some other friends coming. Let's go. So
my friend Erica was like, I want to introduce you to a guy,
That was not me.
No, it was not. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. I just got out of a relationship a few weeks ago. I'm not interested. I'm just going to enjoy being single. But, teenagers, the theory is you got to be with someone the whole time. And
at the time, she was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I was 27. So, do the math, 8 years. Mm-hmm. We get there that night. Sarah's friends introduced her to a friend of mine who was a couple years older than me. She says, I'm sure you're a nice guy.
Sorry, you're too old for me.
You're too old for me.
I was being honest. I was not, I did not feel comfortable at 19 dating someone who was 30.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's a big, huge age difference. 8 years is pretty big too, but it works.
But to be honest, she didn't think I was as old as I was.
I didn't. I thought he was only like 24 or 25. So I thought there was a little bit less of an age difference. I didn't go up to them and say, hey, how old are you? I just kind of used, looks. You can usually tell that someone's older. So. But yeah.
Now it shows.
Yeah, now
that
it
I'm
shows.
older.
You're getting gray.
Getting the gray.
But I knew the night that I met him that I was going to marry him. So it was an interesting first date.
But how did you know?
Because he was the only guy that was respectful and courteous and proper.
I was raised to...
It was very much a forced situation, so to speak.
It was.
Our friends really played a part in that, because I was just like, oh yeah, he's cute, But like I said, I wasn't interested in finding anyone, and my friends were instigating behind my back, as young adults do. So
right.
They were pushing and shoving, and
Go teach her how to shoot pool, was what my friends told me.
Mm-hmm.
Go teach her how to shoot pool because she doesn't know how. So I said, okay, I'll teach her.
I knew how. I wasn't very good. I'm still not very good at playing pool, but I did know how.
So
Sort of.
went over, started talking, got to know each other. Benefit for me, while we were dating, she worked at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I got free coffee. I think that's what made me fall in love.
I fed him.
Kidding. She gave me free coffee. So every time the coffee shop had a new flavor or whatever, she'd, here, try this.
Well, I got to drink all the coffee I wanted. It kind of gets old after a while. I actually don't drink coffee.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
For me,
Drinking
it does.
coffee does
I'm
not
not
get
a
old.
coffee drinker. I am a tea drinker. I can drink tea. I drink coffee or tea the way he drinks coffee. He drinks hot coffee all year long, all day long. I do the same thing.
It could
with
be
tea.
100 degrees outside. I have coffee.
Yeah, and I will be drinking a pot of hot tea. I love iced tea too, but I do that. I had
love iced tea.
actually meant to show a teacup, and I forgot. So I will
Yeah,
have
you
to
did.
show
Oh.
a teacup.
That could be in your candy too.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, but
She called me at work this week and she said, I found a teacup
yeah,
at a local thrift. We have thrift stores everywhere around here. Thrift store. They go to auctions and they buy stuff and sell it at the thrift stores.
I saw a teacup. They posted a picture of a teacup that they were selling for $13. It was a $75 teacup. So I ran out the door real fast. By the time I got there, it had been sold. The picture was a few days old. But I did find a couple that I liked, and I debated between two. One was a Royal Albert, which I collect Royal Albert China. Started collecting Royal Albert China. I have one Royal Albert teacup. But I have about 6. And I didn't drink out of my teacup collection until last week. I saw Dawn drinks out of hers and a couple others drink out of theirs. And I was like, this would be totally fun to do. So I really enjoy drinking out of my teacups. And some of my teacup collection is going to go to make room for others. They're
Always
ones
up
that
there.
have some condition issues that are not great for drinking. So they are going to find some new homes eventually. And it was wonderful because now I'm super, super excited about teacup collections because now I look at them. I've always collected what I like. I don't collect for age. I don't collect for value. My oldest teacup is from 1936, and my most valuable teacup is about $50. So not a huge...
Right, it's not like
It's
you
not a
have...
huge expense. And I usually only spend... I think the most I spent on a teacup was $22, and that was my $50 value teacup.
That was at the auction, wasn't it? Was that at the
No,
auction?
I didn't buy a teacup at the auction. They
Oh, I
didn't
thought
have a
you did.
teacup. I bought the lemonade set,
Oh, that's right.
which I'm getting rid of the lemonade set too because I want to focus. I have an 1890s lemonade set. It's really pretty cool. It's hand painted.
The only problem is it's leaded glass.
I don't know. It's not.
From that era,
Probably,
it's probably leaded glass, which there's no safety in drinking from leaded glass.
Well, I wouldn't drink from it anyway.
No.
It wouldn't be a pleasant experience.
No.
The glass is like, I'm not kidding. It's like a quarter. It's huge. It's hugely
It's
thick.
thick, really thick glass.
So I've enjoying collecting teacups again now. So I've worked it out where I am allowed to buy 1 or 2 teacups a month within reason.
Right.
I can't buy big ones. We don't have a budget for that. But I can go and I can occasionally spend $20 or $40 a month, depending on what I find. I've looked at some on Etsy. I love going and looking for them in person. And I have one in mind. It's this Royal Albert teacup that I should have gotten when I bought the teacup I bought this week. They had it for $15.
Blue thistle.
It was a blue thistle one, and it was beautiful. And I debated between the 2 teacups, and what it came down to was I asked him, "Can I spend $13 on a teacup?" And we didn't have a whole lot of money. This is right after we found out about the roof, and we were finding out how much it was going to cost the roof. So I'm not spending a ton of money kind of person. Because normally, if I had spent the difference between 13 and 15, he wouldn't care. I knew that. It was my issue going, well, I have permission for 13. I'm not spending 15. And I should have because I came home and the cup I got is beautiful, but it's worth what I paid for it. And if I had gotten the blue thistle cup, my investment, so to speak, would have been better. I would have paid $15 for a $45 cup. So I'm hoping next week to go and get the cup. We get paid again on Friday.
Hopefully it's still there.
Hopefully it's still there. If not, it's okay. I've seen them
Usually-
on Etsy and stuff like that. But I would be paying more than $15.
Yeah, and usually summertime, a lot of the towns around here have antique stores.
Yeah.
And we call it treasure hunting.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done that in a while. We need
We
to
haven't.
treasure hunting.
We'll start at our house and just wherever we go, if we see an antique shop, we pull in. And there's been days we've found nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's been days we've found everything and didn't have the money for everything. But,
Yep.
she's gotten teacups that way. She's gotten
Teapots and cookie jars.
teapot. Yeah,
well, I got
cookie
a
jars,
teapot, but
a couple cookie jars.
yeah. But I've decided I'm going to focus my collection because I love glass. So glass has been kind of my focus recently. But I am clearing out stuff that is not teacups, with the exception of my bunny teapot, which I love, but I cannot use it. It has a hairline crack in it, and it's not worth very much. It's worth about what I paid for it, but it's still cute, and it sits on my refrigerator. And then I have a really cute cow cookie jar, and I have an owl cookie jar. Those are my kitchen decorations, so I won't be getting rid of those. So I will be adding teacups.
What's the glass that we buy?
Fenton.
Fenton glass.
I like Fenton glass. And I eventually, when I have a proper china cabinet, I have one right now, but it's not actually mine. I am storing it for a friend, and
Right. They
I'm
don't have
allowed
room in their
to use
house.
it.
Their house is
So
too small.
I get to use it, but they might be moving. So, and we'll find out in a couple weeks if they're going to be moving, and then I have to find a whole new place to put my teacups. I'll have to put a
So I'll
cabinet.
have to either make one, or
Yeah.
we'll have to find one
I think I
that's
want a
relatively.
bigger one. The one I've got is from the 1930s. It's beautiful. But it's small.
Heavy.
It's not that heavy.
You didn't lift it.
Well, it is solid wood. But,
When Mark and I carried it in here, it's heavy. It's solid wood. It's not
top heavy.
It's very.
But it's beautiful. But it's got a door, which is very, and more decorative woodwork, which is very common to that period. And it's beautiful, but it's small. I think I want something a little bit bigger. I have the room to expand it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can. Well, I could technically turn the camera, but I'm not going to do that. Well, now that we've continued to ramble on and basically have two around the apple orchards as we run along some rabbit trails.
Candy comes back, and
Yeah.
we go in and out of the basket, and all of that.
Maybe we'll call this one Rabbit Trails, because that'd
be a good title.
That's
for
what
this
we're on.
Rabbit Trail.
We are on Rabbit Trails today. Well, we should sign off because we are going to be having a visitor before long and need to finish grooming dogs. I only groomed Scarlett so she would look pretty, and we need to feed them and get some other things done to get ready for them.
I'm sure the girls
and
want
I
to come out of their bedroom.
really need to finish my pot of tea.
Yeah, you do, before it gets cold.
It's probably already cold. I need a tea cozy.
So make one.
I plan on it. The dogs ate the last one.
Well, yeah, the dogs, she was making a tea cozy, and the dogs ate it.
It was out of hand spun, and it was a faux cashmere, and everything at that point stuck to it. So I was just like, no, I don't care about it. I'm just going to get rid of it. So. All right, so we will see you next Saturday. We will record again. It'll be July 12th. Wow, we will be halfway through July.
I know.
I need to start
We're over
thinking
halfway
about,
through the year, halfway through July already.
I need to think about Christmas. The girls need to go to school so I can start knitting on their Christmas presents.
Yeah.
All right, so we will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye for now.
See you later.